Great. Now
Please
we've
feel
insulted
free.
everybody from Sweden and everybody named Trevor. Very good.
Welcome to amorephillyunion, the podcast where we swear to talk about the Philly Union, the whole Philly Union, and nothing but the Philly Union. Unless we all get our own custom union friendship bracelets.
Ooh.
We are your hosts. I'm C.
I'm E.
And I'm Paul.
And as we mentioned last time, in this preseason, we are experimenting with some new intros and ideas for the podcast, one of which you just heard. So
Our second new one.
Yes, our second new one. Give us your feedback on the socials, as we like to call them, or by emailing us at pod@amorephillyunion.com.
And you got that in one take. Last week, I think I messed that one up like 3 times.
Oh, you were rusty after the holidays.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was still,
Mouth was still full of all the cookies. And
yeah. Yeah,
we're still working off those postseason pounds here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, so the Help Us Help You challenge for season 2, we're still kicking around ideas. I don't know. We're still figuring it out. But in the meantime,
brainstorming mode at the moment.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit more of a slight drizzle from me, but
Yeah.
But yeah, until we actually hammer out some official game plan for the upcoming season. And to be honest, I think we are kind of waiting for the official beginning of the season to kind of announce what our challenge will be for this season. But in the meantime, we still want to do something. So if you feel like being generous and want to do some good in the world, just let's send you over to the Philadelphia Union Foundation website. Just go to www.philadelphiaunionfoundation.org and click on that nice big donate button they have up there in the top right corner and show them some love from us. And I don't know, maybe put our name in the
Is there a comment field or something like that?
You know, I think we remember that from last season when we made ours. I think there might be. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, go check them out. And
Do it in
show them
honor
some
of
love.
us if you're feeling frisky.
There you go. Yeah.
But you don't have to. I'm sure you have plenty of
No
other
pressure.
people to honor. But, just for funsies, if you feel like
Yeah.
it.
So that's what we're going to be doing, at least for the preseason. So, and then we'll hopefully come up with something fun and engaging throughout the regular season.
But there's no games to talk about this week, even though, preseason starts, it hasn't yet. The games haven't started.
Yeah.
But the union did get back to work yesterday.
Mhm.
Yesterday? What day was that? Was it Monday or was it Sunday?
Yesterday, which would be Monday as we record,
Mhm.
in Florida. Lucky for them. On Ty Baribo's birthday, for just the trivia people out
There you
there.
go. Happy birthday, Ty.
But yes, they are back at work, back doing the thing. I saw a photo of Flock and Wagner at the sadly ill-fated Eagles game last night.
Oh, yeah.
So
Still hurts.
That was in Tampa Bay. So it's down where they're playing their preseason games.
yeah, not a long commute. So
Long for other reasons.
yeah, exactly.
I do have a feeling they're going to have better luck getting back into season form than we will. At least from a physical standpoint. My goodness.
Yes, about it. So, and just for also another trivia note, 10 years ago today, as we record on the 16th, since the Union drafted Andre Blake.
Wow.
So
I forgot that this was the time of year that the super draft was held.
Yeah.
mhm.
That's
we
crazy.
talked about that last week too. But
That was
no
quite a
pressure to the
controversial-
guys that got drafted last week.
Yeah, really.
That was a controversial draft because they had Zach McMath. They went out and got what's his name? Was that Mondragon? No, I forget. Yeah,
Could have been Mondragon. Yeah.
and then they drafted Blake. It's like, why do we have like 3 really good quarterbacks? 3 really, which we have 3 really good quarterbacks. But,
Well, it's that singular position behind all your other players. Kind of makes sense.
But yeah, no, I mean Blake definitely proved to be a good pickup. Number one draft pick, the first, and I think only goalkeeper
Yeah.
taken as number one.
Yeah, I was going to mention that 'cause, I remember last week, our resolutions for this new season, and one was to do more homework, but to which I've done no homework. But yeah, I was going to say I remember Blake was kind of a trendsetter, or it's kind of set a record or whatever. It's the first time a goalkeeper was selected, I think, as the number one draft
Yes.
pick. Yeah.
And I think to date, he's still the only keeper
Mhm.
that has been selected with the number one draft pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it helped that he was pretty much at that point already the starting keeper for Jamaica.
Yeah. Gosh, 10 years though. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
Well, we sure could use him because I mean, except for maybe Zach McMath and the occasional Mondragon, that was sort of our Spinal Tap drummer position for a little while.
Poor Chris Seitz.
Oh, God love him. And I mean, he went on to do so well, so good for
Yeah.
him. But yeah, it was oh boy, did he have it rough when he started with us.
Yeah. I still remember we were playing DC United, and I think that was Moreno.
Mhm.
Sites had the
Mhm.
ball, and Moreno he was floating around him really close, and I think Chris just bounced the ball or something like that, and fumbled it, and Moreno was right there and just picked it off him and put it right in the net. That was
embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. But I do get Chris Seitz went on to do great things, with Dallas. But there was that whole story where he donated bone marrow too, and he had to take off a sizable part of the season in order to do that. So our hats off to Chris Seitz, both for being our goalkeeper and being a true hero. But
nice little moment in Union history.
That's right. That's right. So, in other Union news, Andre Perea, transferred to NYCFC permanently. He's been there since July. But we have officially made a deal to part ways. Paul, I know you know more about this.
Yeah, I was just looking up the numbers on everything, and the Union, I think, obviously not all of the deals, the details of the deals are shared. Some of this had performance considerations to be, that would bump up the price. But when the Union picked him up from Orlando, I think there was like $700,000 in guaranteed allocation money between 2023, 2024, and like another $100,000 in possible money that the Union would have given to Orlando. And then last year, the Union got $300,000 in allocation money. I think it was 2024 allocation money to loan Perea to NYCFC. And then the announcement that just came down, basically the Union are guaranteed $650,000 from NYCFC in 2024 and 2025 GAM, with an additional $150,000 if certain performance criteria are met. So essentially, it feels like the Union could get almost as much as 1.1 million in allocation money after paying, like I said, about $850,000 in allocation money, almost up to $850,000 in allocation money to Orlando. Now, some of the complications is there was a sell-on clause from, if the Union were to have transferred him for money, or some of that money would have gone to Orlando. So I don't know how much of that allocation money goes to Orlando, if any. There's a lot of MLS oddities in those sorts of agreements, but it does seem like a pretty good business deal for the Union overall. And I was looking back through the news on Perea, and I forgot that he actually won like Union Player of the Month last March, and he actually scored a bunch of goals while he was playing for him. So he had some opportunities with the club, and he did help win some games early in the season last year.
Yeah, it's interesting because anecdotally speaking, just looking at comments, scanning the comments on social, people were not necessarily thrilled with this. I mean, they're not looking at the money, and the strategy of it is deeply, but sort of like, oh, what a wasted opportunity. You know, we brought him on and then we let him go without really giving him a chance. But I have to think that, you know, in addition to the money, there was just maybe some kind of gelling that didn't happen, some kind of redundancy in positions, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot more to it. But you know, hopefully
He's
they know
trying
what
to
they're
play
doing.
in that midfield where, you know, Flock is there, Bedoya is there, McGlynn's there,
Yeah.
Torres is there, Gajdag is there, Martinez is there, Bueno is there. There's a lot of midfielders there.
God willing,
Yeah.
Bedoya is there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your 2023 brain still running, Paul.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Was
Yeah,
him
yeah,
playing
yeah,
the
yeah.
2023 midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting now that, you know, they've kind of lessened the roster in the midfield. Is this an indication of what might come? I don't know. I don't have any other scuttlebutt on anything, but I guess that midfield is kind of crowded, like you're saying, Paul.
Yep. A lot of those players are returning.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, good luck to Perea, except
Yep.
for when he plays the Union.
Yeah.
Mhm. So also homegrown player Nelson Pierre, who to my understanding played for Philadelphia Union 2 last season, and also a native of Lebanon, Pennsylvania, has been loaned throughout 2024 to, here we go.
Yeah, I want to see how you're doing this one.
Skuvda AIK.
Hmm.
Nice try.
Skuvda. I have offended all of Sweden. My apologies. But yeah, so Swedish team. For, like I said, throughout the next season. So congrats.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, he's not even 19 years old and he's already getting an international trip. And, you know, hopefully it's a chance for him to grow. I've heard the name, you know, reading through different news sites and such. I don't think he's super high prodigy of any sort. Like nobody's expecting him to turn into, you know, a 25 goal scoring forward. But if he can become a good serviceable player in MLS, that would certainly be a nice outcome from the Union Academy. So we'll have to see how he grabs onto this opportunity as a relatively young guy. So good luck to him.
And a little international clarification or explanation. Skuvda, how do you pronounce it? They are tier 2, League 2 in Sweden.
It's in Sweden. All right.
Yeah.
I was wondering if Glesnes might have given him some tips if it was in Norway, but yeah.
All right, Paul, you're the only one who hasn't said it.
Skuvda?
Hey, that's pretty good. Actually, let's see.
We're probably all completely wrong, and one of us should have gone and found some sort of a website that tells you how to pronounce the different word. You know.
No, I was just trying to channel the IKEA commercials I remember where they like really overdo anything with an umlaut.
Wow, now we are really insulting people from Sweden. Sorry.
Oh, I'm part Swedish according to Ancestry.
Yeah.
I think my big toe is Swedish. But
here, hold on real quick. Share. So here we go.
Skövde.
Oh boy. Nowhere near it.
Skövde.
Actually, I thought we were fairly close.
Skövde.
Skövde.
Okay, so coming back from Sweden to, well, not Philly actually, to Florida. First preseason game on Sunday in St. Petersburg against CR Flamengo, a Brazilian team. And then the first match against the MLS team is on Tuesday, the 23rd, against Austin.
Well, I am curious to see how they're going to do against Flamengo. I don't know anything about them. I've never, I don't follow the Brazilian league, but I understand that they're not afraid of splashing money around and selling players for a good amount of money. So, yeah, it could be an interesting competition. Also, I wonder if it makes a little bit of a connection for our scouting department to go take a look at some Brazilian players, because it's been a while since we brought any of them in, and maybe a little Latin flair in the team, more Latin flair, I should say, because we do have a number of international players from that area, but it, could lead to good things for the team.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of 2 clubs to have never been relegated from the top division.
Really?
Wow.
Mhm. The other being Sao Paulo.
Wow.
That is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is
indeed.
that is a bona fide for sure. Which you also point out the fact that that's a top flight league that they're coming from. So
Yeah.
Yep.
interesting.
And then Austin, I don't think many people are expecting a whole lot from Austin this year, so we'll have to see. I have no idea what their roster even looks like at this point.
Is there a reason for that, or are you just
No,
just
just listening to other MLS podcasts. They're starting to take a look at what roster moves have been made and what kind of preseason predictions, essentially. Nobody, they don't seem to be favoring Austin a whole lot. Of course, it's all preseason, and everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So we'll see what happens come March.
so they may not be all right.
They may not be.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Slow clap for you.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, don't encourage it.
Just as a quick history check, Austin finished 12th place last season. I feel like they started off
Yeah.
the
They were
first half
real
of the
hot.
season. They were doing really well, and then
Then the wheels fell off.
And the wheels fell off. Yeah. So that'll hopefully be a nice, a good warm up game for the Union. That's what I was say. Hopefully, it's a not too difficult of a win.
Of course, we won't be able to watch it because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
still not showing the preseason games anywhere.
That's lame.
So we'll have to see if they give a match report for us to read through.
Lame, I say. I really feel like they should be showing something. I don't know. I'll do some homework offline.
Even if it's just to set up like one of those automated VO cameras on the sideline and just stream it to their website.
Yeah, like Trevor the Intern, just in charge of just running it.
Sorry.
Damn it,
listeners.
Trevor.
Dear listeners and/or Trevor the Intern, if you have a line on this,
Great. Now
Please
we've
feel
insulted
free.
everybody from Sweden and everybody named Trevor. Very good.
I'm not insulting Trevor. I'm asking Trevor a favor. Trevor, if you have, actually, our email is pod@amorephillyunion.com, and we're also on the socials. So reach out, let us know how we can get them their games.
We got to
We'd
get
love
Trevor down there with like an iPhone, just like hold it from the stands, and we'll zoom it in.
Yeah.
It'll be a more Philly Union exclusive, violating all sorts of broadcast issues.
Oh Lord, gonna get shut down before we even get started. Oh,
Us and what was that Christian Slater movie?
Pump Up the Volume.
Yeah. Pirate Radio.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about dating myself? Okay, let's get back to the podcast.
I know. I'm telling you, they've triangulated our ages for sure. At this
They're
point.
just trying to narrow it down now to the month and day at this
Pretty
point.
much. Yeah. All right. Well, finally, still nothing on our beloved alley. So
Yeah.
we're hoping to hear not only something, but something positive. Whatever that might be, hopefully special arrangement, if nothing else.
Eric, we haven't heard anything in the affirmative, but we haven't heard anything in the negative either. You know,
hold on,
like
let me check my messages from my mom.
yeah, see what Scoop says.
Just see if there's anything.
Last week was a Scoops exclusive, right? Breaking the news about Kai Wagner signing the contract.
She is online right now, so you never know. But
let's see. We just need to pipe her into the podcast. We just need to get her on this.
You just need to get Zoom installed on that tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to just like you said, pirate her tablet and bring her on.
Yeah.
She'll be like, playing Mahjong or, Candy Crush, and suddenly our faces will pop up.
Yeah.
Scare the bejesus out of her.
That would be fun.
But yeah, so we haven't heard anything about Allie in the affirmative or the negative. And I would imagine if it was truly finalized that his time with the club is over, there'd be a nice banner splashing across the Union homepage. But until that day comes, hope dies last.
Yep.
That's right. We're pulling for you, Allie, one way or the other.
And if not, we'll see about bringing him on to be a regular member of the podcast. At least if anything, to give us like a pump up speech before we record. Chris would be like, the intro music would end and just be the three of us like, let's go, come on. Like 30 minutes of us just screaming in the mic. I've had coffee.
Or me weeping. Yeah, he did relatively recently, so he's gonna be up all night. Union released their 2024 promotional schedule, special nights at the park. There are lots of them. A Hispanic Heritage Night, a Unity Night, Pride Night, lots of other things. But also Kids Day on March 30th. Celebrating. What do you know, kids?
That's
Local
pretty cool.
youth with fans, so that'd be fun. March 30th, hopefully won't be too cold.
No, if it is, it's double bad because we'll be playing Minnesota, and for them it'll be like springtime.
Yeah, summer, pretty much. Foundation Night, which is not listed here, but one assumes, for our beloved Philadelphia Union Foundation.
May 11th.
May 11th versus Orlando City. Esports Night on May 29th versus Toronto.
Have you seen that esports hub down there at the park?
Oh yeah. Like there's like that awesome like gaming room.
Yeah, like I've never actually gone in to see everything that's in there, but that is pretty wild that they have that down there.
It's a much bigger thing than I had ever realized.
Yeah.
I mean, they give out college scholarships now
Unbelievable.
for esports.
I mean, that was like the joke growing up, playing all the video games and like, too bad, you won't be able to make a living at it and all that. Well,
what was that Far Side?
Yep.
Of the two parents watching their kid playing a video thing, and they're dreaming about the one ads with Mario Brothers player wanted and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you laugh in the face of Killer Goombas? You're our guy. Like starting salary $100,000. Like, yeah, well,
Larson
that's a reality
this
now.
time.
Yeah. Alumni / 15th anniversary night on June 1st versus Montreal. Hold on, 15th. Oh my God, it is the 15th, isn't it? 15th season?
15th anniversary.
Whew, that should be fun.
I wonder what players they'll have show up for that one.
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty good one to go to.
Yeah. I know. I remember previous season. I'm trying to think. I saw the picture and the coverage and stuff. It was Brian Carroll. Beloved Brian Carroll.
Beloved Brian.
DC.
Oh my God. The original Allie, and his last name just went out of my head.
Moreno.
Thank you. Allie Moreno. But anyway, yeah, that should be a fun one. Rivalry night.
Well, hold on. Let's go. I want to go back to the alumni.
Sorry.
So your top 3 alumni. Don't worry about reality. Who would you pick for your top 3 alumni to come back?
Well, we all know Christie's number 1. Sebastian Letou.
Letou. Yeah.
Right. That's correct.
We all know Christie's number 1.
And for the most part, he's pretty much it's kind of like in Wheel of Fortune, like when you get your final one and in the old days you actually had to say all the letters. Now they just give you STL. Well, Sebastian Letou, everyone, that's just a gimme. Like, that's a given. We all want him to be there. So aside from Sebastian Letou,
that's the center box in the bingo.
Exactly. Board. Everybody gets that one.
Let's see who else. Danny Califf.
That'd
gotta be up there. If Zach McMath has retired, I don't even know if I think he might still be.
Did he retire? Playing. I didn't know he retired.
I don't know. I think he might still be playing. I think he was with Colorado.
Yeah, he was with Colorado, I
thought. I still like Carlos Valdez.
Oh yeah.
Jordan Harvey, the much maligned left back from when the Union first created. Brian Carroll's certainly got to be up there. As I'm just trying to go through my head who I would.
Tranquilo Barnetta.
Ooh,
yeah, that'd be a fun one.
That was one of yours for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. Orozco Fiscal.
He was a defender.
He was a defender.
Aristigueta. Yeah.
Rusty. We used to call him Rusty
Rusty.
because we couldn't. Rustigetto. Yeah, how was his first name?
I don't know. I just call him Rusty.
Federico or something like that. Federico.
I actually have the list pulled. Fernando.
Oh. Ilsinho.
Oh, Sonia. Yeah.
Ilsinho.
That would be a good one. Yeah, actually, I hope he actually is there because
Yeah.
Um,
Last time, I mean, he used to coach some of the Union youth teams. So, I mean, I hope he still is just for his footwork skills that he teaches the kids.
I don't know. That's hard to teach.
Yeah.
I'm going through the list. Literally going through the list right now. Fabinho was always fun.
Fabinho. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You also liked Noguera.
The Farfan twins.
Yeah. The Farfan twins.
Yeah.
Noguera would definitely be up there.
Yeah, that would be a fun one to see.
Chris Pontius.
Oh, Chris Pontius. I like Chris Pontius too.
And Casper.
Oh,
he's still playing
Sudoku.
now.
I know, but he's still an alum.
Yeah,
but
I'm thinking retired alum, but yeah.
No, but that's probably far more likely than anyone else. Let's see.
We've definitely gone over the three, I think.
Yeah, well,
I was just kind of listing out players and seeing who I would pick, but I mean,
yeah.
Noguera, Ilsinho, and Valdez would be my top three, I think.
Yeah, Carlos Valdez. I always enjoyed him back on that in the back line like that. He was he was a very athletic, imposing figure back there.
Yep.
He was kind of like the Martinez of defense.
Exactly. That's why I liked him.
Yeah.
Oh, Medunjanin too. I know he's still playing.
Harris Medunjanin.
Right?
Is he still playing? I thought he retired.
Did he retire?
He retired.
Okay. Yeah, so that was another. I'm remembering all of Eric's favorite.
So right now I would go Harris Medunjanin, Tranquila Barnetta, and it'd be nice to see Noguera again. But I'll throw the fourth one is like just kind of a little bit of a curveball. John Hackworth. That'd be awesome if he popped back in. Now that may be a little difficult diplomatically, maybe, because then like, why not Peter Novak? It's like, well, it's complicated.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time narrowing it down, but gosh. Yeah, so as I always said, Sebastian Ledoux, for me, always. I'm not 100% sure everybody here is retired, but
like afterwards we're going to scroll through the list of all historic players, and like there's going to be some glaring errors.
That's literally what I'm doing right now.
Well, I guess dovetailing with all this, for
yeah.
anybody listening, if you have your top three Union alumni that you'd like to see, feel free to let us know at pod@amorephillyunion.com.
Okay, so just to round this out real quick, rivalry night, July 6th against guess who? Go ahead, Paul. Say what
Chicago. No.
Kansas City.
No, what do you usually call them?
New York. The Pink Cows.
There it is.
New Jersey Pink Cows.
There it
New
is.
Jersey Pink Cows.
There it is. Kick childhood cancer / Fang's birthday on September 22nd versus DC United. And fan appreciation night, which I would imagine is also the last home game of the regular season versus Cincinnati on October 19th.
It's interesting. This year, the Union are opening and closing the season with home games.
Wow, we're lucky in that respect.
Yeah. I feel like last season also was the last game was against Cincinnati, but I can't remember. Anyway, so another digression. Apologies.
First time that's happened.
We don't promise not to do that anymore. So at least not this week.
We should just double down on digressions. We're just going to digress on everything, and when we can, we'll bring it around to the Union.
So one other bit of news that was announced, the Union are partnering with the local adult soccer organization, Casa Soccer. They're going to be running adult soccer games down at the Wisfis Turf Sports Complex down there near the Union Stadium, which is kind of interesting. They're going to be playing in the evenings, Monday through Thursdays, starting at 8:30. They're expecting something like 4,000 players to come through the facility over the course of the spring and summer season. I mentioned just because for a little while there, I was helping run pickup games up near me in Norristown area with Casa Soccer, and it was a lot of fun. I'm old enough now to know that I don't need to be playing on a competitive team, especially when some of the people that are playing sometimes take it a little more serious than I would like. So, but I think that's awesome that the union are getting involved at a recreational level with the adult soccer groups in the area, and I hope it's a lot of fun for the players. And it was kind of cool to see that partnership's happening. So good on Casa and good on the union for reaching out.
Yeah, I think that's such a cool setup that they got going on there. If my knees would allow it and my schedule, I would want to try out on this.
I didn't tell you that Reading United was having a walk-on tryouts, but I also kind of figured that you probably weren't as interested as you might have once been.
Yeah, so. My my pride is starting to listen more and more to what my body says.
One last thing for tonight, not football related, but American football related, and definitely Philadelphia sports related. Today, it has not been officially announced, but by all accounts, it looks like Jason Kelce is going to retire. Again, last night was their season-ending loss against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And I think that although all are sad, there are very few that are surprised, since he was talking about retiring last year, and it was a bit of a surprise that to me at least, that he signed on for one more year. But I also understand that it was not at all a surprise to me, as sad as it was. But definitely, I mean, he got me to watch American football, and hey, don't have to do that anymore, apparently. I'm really, really sorry. End of an era for sure.
I mean, actually, there's a couple of other Eagle players that might be retiring as well. They've been playing for, Kelsey's, I think this was his 13th year. Fletcher Cox, I think, had 12. Brandon Graham has 14. Amazingly enough, I think all of them with the Eagles, which especially in these days, and this, that's an accomplishment in of itself for a team to hang on to players, accomplished players, great players like all of them. I mean, they were even talking about it in the broadcast last night. Like, if Kelce retires, it's not like he's going out and after fading. He's still one of the top centers. He's one of the top players at his position. But it's just a matter of wear on the body. And at some point you got to be, he's got to decide if it's worth putting his body through another season. And, I know in that Kelce documentary that was on Amazon, he talked about after last season, after the Super Bowl loss, making that decision whether or not to come back was tough. So,
I think too, he wants to focus on his singing career next anyway. So,
and his podcast. I hear podcasts are going to be huge.
I like to think when they do like an action dramatization of the Jason Kelce story, and it's the end of the 2022 season, and and he's debating whether or not to do one more season. It's like the whole in some sort of warehouse, just the core group of guys, like one last job, right? And they go for one more year. Except this time they go on and win the whole thing, but still,
yeah.
That's why it's a movie.
Yeah, that's right. I think like Jason Statham will be in it. Who else would be in it?
He'd be Lane Johnson.
Wasn't there that they did the remake of Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore years and years back?
The Boston Red Sox,
with the Boston Red Sox, and they had to refilm the ending of it because the Sox actually won.
That was
the World Series that year.
That was the year. Yeah, they actually filmed some of that at one of those actual games.
At the celebration.
Yeah, that's talk about the universe getting on board. Now we just need I don't know, the union's version of Fevered Pitch. Somebody get on
Seba Pitch.
Make it happen, MLS scriptwriters.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Okay, everyone. Is that it for tonight?
Yeah, I don't
I
have
guess
anything
so.
else.
Hopefully, we'll still see some Jason Kelsey popping up around Philly and
Oh, no doubt.
Oh
whatnot.
gosh,
and,
yes.
You know,
Mhm.
yeah. The guy's a legend.
Yep.
You'll never have to buy a beer in this city ever.
Nope.
No. He needs to dust off his mummer's uniform.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Hopefully next New Year's Day, he's in one of those mummer bands.
That would be
The
fun.
string bands. Go string bands. Jason, do string bands. That's our recommendation.
He plays saxophone, I believe, or
Do
clarinet.
do they?
Yeah, string bands. Yes.
I said, do they?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, he just has to make it look like he's playing a banjo. He doesn't.
Oh.
It doesn't actually
Yeah.
have strings on it.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Our website is amorephillyunion.com. We can be reached by email at pod@amorephillyunion.com. On Twitter, we are amorephillyu. Instagram, YouTube, and Threads, amorephillyunion. We have a very eclectic Spotify playlist, also under amorephillyunion. So check that out. Songs inspired by the pod, used on our Instagram posts, all kinds of shenanigans over there. Get our podcast wherever you get yours. We are on all of the podcatchers.
Which I just
Apple
found
and
out, if you
otherwise.
have Amazon, if you Prime, you can get a lot of podcasts commercial free.
Ooh.
We don't have commercials in our
No.
pod, but
No.
for those podcasts that you do listen to that have commercials, some of them will come commercial free.
We may not have ads, but we have tips. That's for sure. And thank you everyone for tuning in for another episode of Amorephillyunion. We are your hosts. I'm C.
I'm E.
And I'm Paul. Go Union!
All right, so
This is so undignified.
I don't know how to come back from that.